Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is today, I believe, the 7th, Thursday, the 7th of February 2019, and it's nearly 8:30, and we are inside. We're going to do a little live video for you to discuss issues of national importance. First of all, let me say a shout out to all of the video watchers who watch my video, make notes, and come back 2 days later and say the same thing. Shout out to you. If you have any integrity at all, especially when you rock back in your car using Philip words, give Philip credit. Alright? I just say it. If you're selling integrity, go all the way. If you're using what I'm saying, give me my credit now. I work for this. Getting the housekeeping. Wait, who else I have to give a shout out to? To all the law firms. To all the law firms locked on, because I'm getting accustomed to hearing my words read back to me in court. So to all the law firms, all the law clerks who have to sit and watch me tonight, good night to y'all. Good night to all the former PNM and UNC supporters who pelt with them two bandit racist parties. Good night to y'all. Good night to all the gods, the old and the new. Good night to everybody. Right? Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. On the 23rd of February, the Progressive Empowerment Party has an event at Lion Civic Center called Pep Market. And Pep Market is a place where members and non-members alike are going to offer a variety. We have 100 stalls, or does it target 100 stalls? If you want a stall, if you want a table, if you want a booth, reach out to Felicia Holder, reach out to Limma McLeod Wilkinson. They're coordinating that. And whatever you have to sell, display, give away, promote, share, whatever, as long as it's legal, come out. It's $200 for a table for PEP members, $300 for non-members. But you can twist the system a little bit, join, and then, because we're not making, I realize, we're not making any distinction between old members and new members. You could join today and buy a table tomorrow. So come and be a part of that. To the shoppers, mark your calendar, the 23rd of February. Let's move right along. All of you who know, jumping on the live, please share the video, share the video, share the video, share it everywhere. The 23rd of March, not the 20th of February, 20th of February is Pep Market. You have two 23rds to mark in your calendar. On the 23rd of March, we are following our just concluded launch of the San Fernando South Hub, which is the hub of 10 constituencies in the South. We are launching our hub, our regional headquarters of the 10 constituencies in the North, everything between Diego Martin West and St. Joseph. And we are launching that office at 10th Avenue, Barataria, on the 23rd of March at 5 p.m. Live entertainment, free seating, secure parking, food. If you're anybody who was in South could tell you, when PEP have an event, it's food like that. So we had food in the South opening. We had so much food. At the end, people was just being given whole cakes. Go home with that. Box of this and box of that, because when our PEP members go, they go all the way. Also, between the 23rd of February, which is PEP Market, and the 23rd of March, which is the launch of the North Hub of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Oprah is coming a little while. She says, you getting a roti, you getting a roti, everybody getting a roti. Hold on there, Junior. In between those two events, the 20th of February for the PEP Market and the 23rd of March for the launch of the North Hub, we have the Progressive Empowerment Party Family Day that is for all members and family and friends and spouses and children and boyfriend and girlfriend and all of that of PEP members. If you're a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, link up with Debbie Lee Jaikaran. She has lead on that. She handles events in this party. Link up with Debbie Lee Jaikaran or Sean Sunarayan. You know him on Facebook as Trini Mamu. You can link up with them. As always, you can link up with any of us, Felicia, Shari, Tony, Satish, any of the crew, Misty, any of the usual suspects. But I'll let you know, Nigel Ramphal say he here and he waiting for my roti. Come in. Anyway, so PEP Family Day. This is going to be a nice one. We're having karaoke. We're having all fours competition. Adult musical chairs. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, do yourself a favor link up with Debbie Lee Jaikaran and say, I want to get listed. And you can do that on the Progressive. You can email us at peptrinbago@gmail.com. I found out today that the people who handle our emails love to hear from you. So feel free to email us at peptrinbago@gmail.com and say, I want to come to the Pep Family Day. I am bringing my 2 children, and my wife, or my husband, or my outside man, whoever, and put your name and your phone number, possibly an email address if different to the one that you're writing from, so that we could contact you back. Yeah, I think that's it for the housekeeping. Let me say one time to all of the volunteers and all of those who get involved and help and make all of these events happen. A real diehard UNC member said to me, partner, we can't keep up with all you. Pep running the conversation. Everywhere we turn, Pep doing something. Pep involved. Pep having it. Pep leading the way. And that's the truth. And we're not yet in government. We're certainly not in opposition. If you vote for the Progressive Empowerment Party, you will get a real political representation for the first time in the history of this country. And we say, and I want to underscore what Anthony Sinanan just said, Anthony Sinanan, who him and his wife Joan run our Toronto team together with a vast Toronto Pep membership who are, I mean, they're like the underpinnings of this party. They've stood like rocks through hurricane and tsunami and made sure this party stood. I want to give a shout out to Joan and Anthony and Kezia and Pacos and Errol Sitahal and the rest of the crew. And if I leave you out, it's not because I want to, it's because so much stuff have to stay in this little head that, you know. Denise Xavier, Chalana and Chester Birch Road in New York City, the NYC PEP office. They've actually opened a PEP office on the ground in New York City. If you're anywhere in the tri-state area, link up with them. You could message me or any of the usual suspects and we will direct you. That said, Jean-Paul Nathaniel and the crew in Florida, and we now have Simon and Chelsea in the UK, who may be taking up the responsibility of building the UK chapter because we had a false start there and we're looking to get back into it now. The Progressive Empowerment Party is worldwide for a reason, because you'll hear us talk about this from time to time. We want to reach out to international media to demonstrate what a failed nation, banana republic we are. So we want to unmask and unhide and let them come and see for themselves where this country reached, this blessed and perfect paradise on earth, what was done to it. So we want our outside peppers who have no business with no contract mafia, no 1%, and no PNM and no UNC, them outside, them living in the real world, and them still care about Trinidad and Tobago. Big up our outside peppers. They are also there to make sure that we could leverage election observers. And we are already in conversation with international election observers to make sure that the Elections and Boundaries Commission do not stray from their remit next election. Rainfall last time, and we had to get an extra hour. I'm afraid this time Rowley couldn't get his piss out, so we had to extend till he could vote. See that kind of thing? It don't add up, it don't make sense. So we gotta make sure that we have people that say, no, these are the rules, let's follow the rules. Rain can't fall and keep you back from voting. You understand what I'm trying to say? And the Progressive Empowerment Party is adamant about that. And we don't have the kind of bones and bodies buried between the PNM and the UNC that tell one another, if you expose Jim, I will expose John. We expose them both. So we have no interest, and we have no concern, and we have no care. If you have a public office and you abuse that public office, especially a statutory office, we will not rest until you are being fed daily at the president's pleasure. Yeah, that's it for all the housekeeping. Did I do all the housekeeping? One last thing. The Progressive Empowerment Party is built by its members, it's for its members, and it is reflective of its members. If you want this party to continue to grow, because all these events and all this barbecue and curry-cue and all this that you see us having is to do one thing, raise funds and keep the wheels on the ground. If you would like to assist this party, because you have a couple of people who, out of the goodness of their hearts and in the memories of their parents and grandparents, make little standing donations to the party, and we love and appreciate your patriotism and your civic mindedness and the fact that you're a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party. No, we are not investing in no airlines and no money laundering bullshit that other political parties seem to be getting themselves in. We just here to do the politics, to get the politics on the ground, to get the wheels on the ground, to get the train on the track, and to get us to a place where we can win an election convincingly so we could run this country properly, which is the purpose of these videos, to inform, educate, and empower, so that the average citizen, when they're talking to each other and to potential representatives, they could speak convincingly, intelligently from a position of, this is what I know that I am entitled to. I have been given this information. Do you have this information? And for the most part, most of the average citizens now are brighter than their prime minister. The opposition leader playing catch up with her own members, or who used to be her members, yellow shirts giving way in town. When you see somebody out, and we seeing them regular now in orange, it can get fling off a stage that Kusal and Junior Sammy and Calco pay for. When you see somebody in an orange jersey, they paid for it themselves, and they've done so as an endorsement of, we want real representation, and I'm willing to do. I have had people message me and call me and say, Phil, as here when you ask for donations and things, I'm between jobs right now, and as soon as I get a job, I say, hey, slow your roll, this ain't for you. You could volunteer in some other way. We will help you. You don't have to help us. Tell us where you are, and we will come and give you some assistance. The Progressive Empowerment Party is a family. And if you have not yet experienced a real political family of people who are really just a growing mass of humanity standing together for a better country, come this Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, or come 137 Manahambre Road, St. Madeleine. Come and join a meeting. Come and sit down. Be as skeptical as you want, because we love that. We love that. We have this little game we play. When the skeptics come in, we ask your name and write it down, and we run bets. How many meetings before this person is a die-hard pepper? Because you see the skeptics come there to defend what they know. And we gently exchange that for real seed knowledge. And they get to make up their own minds. The Progressive Empowerment Party is a revolution of hearts and minds. We work on the radio 6 hours a week, and I do these live videos as much as possible, as well as others, Challoner and Derek and other people who come out and give you this information. We ask those who can afford it, if you can help us financially, please contact Felicia Holder, contact Satish Ramsaran, contact Lima McLeod Wilkinson, who is a deputy political leader, Debbie Jaikaran. Just message me. So let me see if there's something that I need to add to the housekeeping. Yes, so she just wanted to remind me to make sure that you were aware that if you wanted to be at the family day, you should message, we need to cater, because I mean, yeah, we have plenty of food, but just in case, we want to find out that the Palori run out and they ain't get Palori. So we want to know if 500 people come in, we have at least, I don't know, 6,000 Palori, because a dozen, if I ain't get a dozen, you can't give me 2 Palori. And if you're having Palori, you have to have Accra, because here, every creed and race find an equal place. So, all of that, I believe, is the housekeeping membership drive. This is a good one, because today is the 7th of February. But if you have not yet heard this, until the 31st of March, 30 days are September, April, June, and November. Until the 31st of March, if you are in a position where you would like to join the Progressive Empowerment Party, but you have any financial challenges at all, and you can't afford the contribution to join, it's on us. Come and fill out until March 31st. Fill it out. Come to the office. Fill out your form. We lovingly sponsor you that membership. So we waive it. So as to not embarrass anybody, you don't have to come and say, I haven't stressed. We waive it for everybody. Now, if you pull up and you know you come rocking a Beamer or a Benz or things nice with you and you have 19 house and you're bidding on the 20th house, oh gosh, when you come to join, drop something on we. Give me something to help keep the, as I say, the wheels on the ground and turn it, because it's your party. So if you come to join and you could help, help. But if you come to join and you're not in a position to help yet, volunteer. Say, I will come on Saturdays and help put out the chairs. I'll come and help you with this. My skill set is this. I bring this to the table, right? We've done all the housekeeping tonight. No members message me anything more about anything else to add, because I feel like we're talking housekeeping 10, 20 minutes now. Right, our radio show, we pay for that. We generate revenue to pay for that. We have 32 ads per day that are for sale. If you are in business and you would like to take advantage of those 32 ads, we have very good rates and we would like to use it to offset the cost of the advertising, and it is spread throughout the day on 104.7. So you can get your ads in our show, you get all through the day to make you happy to pay for that. As soon as we get that one self-liquidating, because people are calling and asking for us to do the show every day of the week. And I mean, it's going to be very tiring, but we have a big team. The last show, Wednesday, we had about 9 people in the studio. We didn't have enough microphones, we didn't have enough chairs, we didn't have enough headphones, but we made it work. And we're willing, we have a good team, we'll roster people if we have to, and we will come every day if we have to, but that costs us money. The good people at 104.7 give us a real good deal, and if you would like to help us pay and to extend, or you'd like to advertise just to get your own business out of it, because promise you this, we in the Progressive Empowerment Party, we lovable and loyal. We will trip over ourselves to make sure you get 10, 20, 30 times the value of what you give us. We do business with that. We don't mix matters, yeah? So, we inside, we locked on. We're talking about the North Hub, the caretakers, all caretakers for the North Hub, everybody who living in any constituency from Chaguaramas, Diego Martin West to St. Joseph. Those are the borders of the North Hub. Anybody that lives between there is a Progressive Empowerment Party member that would like to be involved in any way in the movement, on the ground, in the communities, in your neighborhood, in your constituency. Reach out to Shari Wilson, who is the party organizer, Michelle Davis, her deputy, or Akil Camps, who is heading the North Hub at this juncture. Sterling Leha is his man of business and his deputy as well. So if you would like to get involved, Glenn Robinson, who is half the time in Trinidad, the other half in Tobago, if you want to reach out to any of them, reach out to them and say, I'm inside and I want to help in my constituency, and they will link you up and they will line you up. Right, now to get on to action. Certain people send stuff to me. Today the commissioner had to send out a release to blast Guardian Media, to blast them for fake news. Guardian Media, and I asked, what is your agenda? Why would you disrespect the Commissioner of Police, this hard-working man who this week did God work? This man went and rescued little 15 and 16-year-old girls who was being raped by some, listen now, him. I tell Gary on the phone, I say, if in this instance, he said, don't say it, I say it, if in this instance, you could have exchanged gunfire, nobody in the country would have vexed with your brother. You should have leave all them stink demons for people in white to come and pick up. I serious? 15 and 16-year-old girls and these illegal Chinese. Now, I have multiple questions to ask, so I'm going to start here. Where is customs and immigration? Where are they? I can't ask where's the Coast Guard. Because the Coast Guard, I said today, sell the boats to party promoters. Party promoters. If we sell all them Coast Guard boats to party promoters and give each party promoter a different jetty around the country, we might get something, we'll put some cameras on the party boats, and we might get something like a monitored border. Because right now, having all the Coast Guard boats park up in Hartscott in Chaguaramas don't help nobody. And if the Coast Guard can't afford gas, even though we're spending $9 billion, you all see that thing that Jove Warner from Neil and Massey sent around viral on WhatsApp today, that Mala Dukaran do, about how much money we spend? All of a sudden, everybody's starting to sound like Philip Edward Alexander in the Progressive Empowerment Party. All of a sudden, everybody's starting to give you the kind of information that only the PEP gives you. 90% leakage. The estimate of the $3 trillion that we've spent, 90% we can't account for. Some mad-ass country. And if Jove Warner sharing that, pay some attention to that. Full circle. Customs, immigration. How are illegal Chinese businessmen opening, I don't want to cuss. I don't want to cuss because they say, well, he's cuss, I can't vote for that. So if I don't cuss, they vote in droves. I try not to cuss, but you can insert your expletive right here. How are illegal, as in not legal, unlegal, not legal, non-legal, Chinese business people setting up business in Trinidad? If you don't have a work permit, you don't have any kind of validity to be here, you can't own property, you can't rent property, you can't open a bank account. If you go in the bank today to change a check, they want you to come back with a flow bill, a TNTech bill, a TSTT bill, your national, your driver's permit, your passport, your ID card, and 2 letters from your grandmothers on your mother and your father's side. How the Chinese and them doing that? How? Mr. Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, are the Chinese people running their own banks? Say that. Say that publicly. Because for the average Trinidadian to open a blasted bank account in your blasted bank is hours and days and documents for so. So how the illegal Chinese providing that TNTech? How you giving illegal Chinese people connection? WhatsApp, Flow, TSTT, B-Mobile? How it happening? We need to ask these questions because I want you to understand this. People are telling Trinidad and Tobago. When I was in the gym and I was thinking about this, people are talking about it's so, it can't change. I want to tell you something. The people who living in Westmoreland, the land that your house built on used to be on top of a mountain, and they cut down that whole mountain, throw it in the sea, and build your house on it. If we could take a mountain down and throw it in the sea and build new land, look at Peaks. Peaks built about 5,000 acres. I tell Trinidad, boats used to come and lap up against this little gas station, Peaks by a little gas station. They used to hold 2 cars. I remember Cocorite gas station. The pirogue used to come behind it because the water used to reach right there. Now, when you're in Peaks gas station, you gotta take a taxi to reach the sea. Then reclaim all that. I ain't saying it legal or it illegal. I don't know. I am not in public office. I don't have access to the records to who gave them permission. But what I want to tell you is, that used to be the sea. Now it is bigger than the savannah. If we could do that, Trinidad and Tobago, we could write laws. We could change laws. Stop telling yourself or telling me the bullshit that is how it is. So that is how it have to stay. Madness is pen and paper and 41. All who say aye. The ayes have it. Take it to the president. Boss, your work is to rubber stamp that. Do your work. That's how this country is run. That's how it's run. So I want to know, me, tonight, how the Chinese coming in here, how they staying here, how they getting money inside this country, where it passing, how they banking, who transacting, how they buying property, how they renting property, how they registering business in Ministry of Legal Affairs, how they opening business, how they hiring people, how they paying tax, NIS, and VAT. And I want to know, more importantly, customs and immigration, how was it possible for these 19 little girls to be smuggled into this country for deviant little prick sons of bitches to use as mattress? People guilt children. You see, it's this thing to send people mad. People guilt children or they kidnap and use as sex slaves in 2019, and the controller of customs and the head of immigration get fired today. Stuarty boy still have a work as Minister of National Security. Or you must be mad. Or you have to be mad as a country, mad. And if you use PNM and you ENC still, think about them 19 little girls who get raped repeatedly, night after night after night, in terror and fear, in stir fry. Go upstairs in Asia, where Chinese, I want to call their name, boy, but I can't take a next pre-action protocol letter. Listen, go upstairs there and ask for a forehand massage. Who doing that work? Who doing it? The head of the counter-trafficking unit said to this country, Wheeler said prostitution not illegal. The head of the Progressive Empowerment Party's women's arm, and Keisha and the research officer, I asked them, is this true? And they found at least 4 laws that says prostitution is illegal in Trinidad and Tobago. If the head of the counter-trafficking unit don't know, if the Children's Authority did not intervene for those 19 little Spanish girls, if immigration or customs can't answer a question, if the Minister of National Security don't know anything about what's going on, you tell me, how is this country being run? Who is actually running Trinidad and Tobago? Who? Who? Hema interviewed a man the morning after her stunt with the PEP members. She interviewed a community leader, a businessman from Sealots, who they sent 60 bullets for. Killed 3 other women. Stick up in. Killed 3 other women. Interviewing that man. That man gave you all kind of attitude. Now Felicia and Michelle, who were calm and polite and reserved and forthcoming, you disrespect with your hostile behavior caused me to call you a pig. You run by J.D. Salier, and J.D. Salier sent me a letter to say, 48 hours, but I'll see all of you all in court. Because her behavior was very pig-like, to use Trinidad language. Now, you want to sue me, and you serve me with a pre-action protocol letter on Wednesday, but the same Guardian media called me garbage today. And they run down. Now, I have no problem, you know, because you know why? It busting, all failing. This is what Norman Sabga and the rest of the crew can't take. Because no matter what they send for me, it coming back and find them. You call me rubbish. You take a picture of me and you put me in the garbage can. You use this little black boy who you have running run down to say right and say, Philip is garbage, and you leave him on the side of the road. The garbage man wouldn't pick him up and all kind of shit. And it busts. Nobody wants your shit. Nobody taking on your shit. You can't defame the man again. Philip Edward Alexander is now the people's property. He's the people's champion. You can't come with bullshit again. So you can't play a suing me for calling him a pig. And the next morning you calling me garbage in your Guardian media. I want the court to tell me if there's one law for one and one law for another. Because I don't think that that is correct. I don't think that that is what the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago intended. I don't think that that was the plan. But Hema couldn't give her businessman's friend attitude because none of her lawyer friends. Again, I have information, but I'm holding it back. Don't think I'm not being forthcoming. I'm holding it back for a reason. But you will get it. It'll come to you. Stick up in. Hema couldn't treat him the way she treated the PEP. She didn't ask him, how many members are in your gang now? We need to know. We need to know. When we interviewed ISIS, they were forthcoming. They walk with the numbers. How much in your gang? Or how many people were at your last shootout? Hema couldn't ask them questions. All them attitude was for the PEP. But you're calling this businessman to interview him. And I asked the Commissioner of Police today, brother, how does that add up? You interview a businessman that you know, if you treat him the way you treat them, he might send presents for you. You see, Hema could treat Felicia and Michelle with scant courtesy, total disrespect, contempt, because she's reliably certain that Felicia Holder and Michelle Davis not going to show up in Guardian Media or CNC3 with AR-15s. She can be reliably sure of that. But not all of her guests she can say the same thing for. And my point is, if you are a practicing journalist or a talk show host and you're biased, disclose your bias at the start. I have no problem following you down into hell. I have told you all that. Wherever you want the fight to be, You just give me the time and the place, and I come in alone. Bring your crew. I come in with me. But broadcast it for all of Trinidad and Tobago to see. That's all I ask. Any debate, any interview, broadcast. There is no other politician that goes on the radio and on TV and tell them, open the phone lines. Open it. Let the people call. No other political leader in this country has a meeting every single Saturday. And one of the features of that meeting is an open microphone. You could walk in off the street and walk up to that mic and talk. Nobody else so brave. Because whatever you think you know or want to say, I want to hear. Let's have a conversation. But the day before, I was told by management of Guardian Media that they wanted Philip Edward Alexander on the show. But the talk show host blocked it. She didn't want me there. Because she know, no matter who was texting her questions to ask, she couldn't stunt that stunt with me. And she know, she'll get put in she place. Fast. I am Rowley, I am Berkey Burke. But she'll get put in she place. Quick. And she know that. So she said, we will interview the PAP, but not Philip Alexander. Because you're a bully. And most bullies are cowards. So you demonstrated a total incapacity. There is nobody in CNC3 today brave enough. They will hide. They will put out rundowns. And they will put out no laughing matters bullshit. I'm waiting for Akash. Poor little Akash. I'm waiting for him to get used. Your turn. Give me the Polari version. I just get the Accra this morning. Give me here every creed and race. Find a whining space. No problem. But all you try, and this is not for CNC3 and Guardian Media, this is for all of the haters that tried all of the identity politics first. First, they tried to assassinate my character. First, they defamed me. They scandalize me. They circulate all kind of documents. Philip do all of these things. I tell you, it was impressive to read. And I was proud of myself. If I was capable of doing all of that, I think that's a full life right there. And they did that. They did it hard. They didn't stop. Hey, Phil, you see this? Phil, you see this? Yeah, I see it. You see this one? Yeah, I see it. They didn't stop for about 3 months. But you know what happened? While they texting, WhatsApping, and emailing, the Progressive Empowerment Party was growing. And they couldn't understand. So they set me up with a thing called Kim Cole. They set me up with a Kim Cole. I go on there because if you call me, Phil, you're coming on the show, I come in. If you watch the first part of the interview with that beast, I was nice. And then they tell me about flinging KFC over the wall and building a wall around the town. None of those things I have ever said in my entire life. But they needed identity politics. They needed Philip, this caramel latte complexion. They needed me to be a racist. They needed me to be a racist. Because in Trinidad and Tobago, racism is the last bastion of the intellectually bankrupt, vacuous, and inane. And they couldn't get it to stick. Black people that know me. See, I'm not one of those people that ever came and defend myself and said, I'm not a racist because I know black people. Because you know why? I ain't this thing too long. My track record there. People watching, if he's a racist, you telling me that son of a bitch so good. He feeding poor people, orphans, homeless, and the disabled. 25 years he planned for this. He good. You say, boy, if you is a racist and you do that for 25 years, it's your kind of racism we need in government. Because if you take your Christmas Day, if your child grow up knowing Christmas Day is feeding the dead and the dying in downtown Port of Spain, the homeless and the barely able to hold it together, if your child came of age as a man, putting food in poor people's hands. Go and find Paul Daniel now. There are people who could tell you they grew up with Philip Edward Alexander feeding homeless people. And it's not just normal homeless we just feed. Where we just go is where you wouldn't go. We just go where those dying, where it's practically leprosy. These people have holes and gaping sores. And I had to feed a man once. I had to take a picture for you all to see because you wouldn't believe. A man who's literally shit himself and covered himself in his poor mental illness and nobody to take care of him. So the entire surroundings around him is he sitting in his own feces, covered head to toe in it, and I'm going to have this man lunch. And the smell was like a 1-2 from Mike Tyson. I tell you, it hit me in that hot Christmas Day sun. It hit me, boom. You ever feel a smell rock you? When we go underneath that car park, Plaza car park downtown, Riverside Plaza, when we go underneath there, the people who underneath there, the people inside the plaza, them is official homeless. Them living in a car park. Underneath the car park is the people who so homeless, who so blighted, who so broken, they don't qualify to be officially homeless and get inside the car park. Them sleeping in the drain. Them sleeping in the actual drain. And it's them we go and feed. 25 years. So people watch that and they say, you know what? We reject you. We reject your try to paint the man as racist. And not everybody who's skin light racist. Miss us with that bullshit. While they were trying that, the Progressive Empowerment Party was growing. The message was getting out there. The people was waking up and they saying, but what the frick we gotta do this man again, boy? So now they continue and they're trying their identity politics. They come to make Philip, it had to be, what was the word people were using? Because it had to be, he don't like women. This was an abuse of women. We had to go and find a women's network to say, this is anti-women. So they find, and I'm driving Sunday, and I get a call from CNC3 from a chap with a Chaguanas accent. You know the kind, you know how they used to talk, and then somebody trained them to talk different, so you could hear the difference. And I hear him, Mr. Alexander, I am sure you've read the circulation by the International Women Resource Network. I said, I've seen it. In the interest of fairness, would you like to comment? I said, in the interest of fairness, what you're telling me is that you're going to broadcast that without verifying what it is, without veracity. You are going to put this in the public space, and you want a comment from me? You wouldn't know you wouldn't recognize fairness if it bit you on your ass. Well, okay, thank you. Snickering, and he go on his way. And they put it in the public space. Look at what the public did. The public tore it apart. There are a couple people who buy it whole, say, I never did like it. But I'm telling you something, I read something on Facebook once. People don't just start hating today. If somebody else's information on me could start you hating me today, you was hating long time. You was just waiting for a ticket to jump on a ride. And even those, like those who left the Progressive Empowerment Party, they get conned to go and join some political party that didn't exist for a week. They come back, tail between their legs. Fellas, hey, you don't give me no excuses. You don't give me no explanations. The Progressive Empowerment Party is open to everybody. And if we say from every political party, PNM, UNC, MSJ, COP, TOP, wherever all you come from, come home. So we are asking you no questions. You left, you come back. Come back. No problem at all. But Trinidadians, the public, tore them apart. The first thing they started to ask was Guardian Media's own track record and how they failed to cover anything the Progressive Empowerment Party did, including a march for women just months before. That all of us came out from on our Sunday. Tiffany Young, I see her on the train, her husband, her children, families on their Sunday morning, marching around the savannah, holding aloft requests for justice and protection for women. Where was CNC3 and Guardian Media? And people, average people, who wasn't going to business with our interview with Hema that morning, went and found the interview and called that woman out. What the ass is this? So an interview that could have failed, now everybody see and saw the behavior of the interviewer and call him out. So it failed. And if that wasn't enough, Philip not racist, Philip sexist, they went and they found out in 12 hours that the organization that the Guardian Media, CNC3, was selling to the world, well, to the country, as a global organization. They were saying that, a global organization. The IW, International Women's Resource Network, they were phrasing it like that. When our people went and investigated, they found one person, an employee of Guardian Media, was the head of the International Women's Resource Network based in Ariba. And they barely had 300 followers on social media. And it is them you unleash their release. And they set up, when you read their documents, they set up to deal with people with HIV and AIDS, which is good. And I applaud them for that. How they end up in media bacchanal and how they end up attacking Philip Edward Alexander. The fact that she, like this boy who run in the rundown, I can't vex with he. Because he had to pay for his toilet paper and his soap, and he had to buy carnival costume to go and whine and kill Kitty and pretend like he fit in and he belong. Watch me, I somebody. I can't vex with he. When the landlord come knocking on the door, he can't call Sabga. You had to work and you had to pay. So if Sabga call you and tell you assassinate Philip character, you have a choice. You're working for the man. Fix up. I can't vex with you. I can't vex with this woman and her International Resource Network. I can't vex with her because she too working for Sabga. So Sabga sent she at me too. So then I want to ask a question. How is this Sabga business? How Sabga benefits from his media house attacking the Progressive Empowerment Party? In the interest of fairness, to the person who called me from CNC3, because I know you all watch this, to the person, Carissa Lee, producer for Hema Show, who ducked our calls for 2 years, Janice Lemon Creaky, you all know the PRO of the Progressive Empowerment Party, reserved, upstanding, well-spoken, decent woman. You have Herbex. She called you all weekly for 2 years. She invited you to every public event we had. You snubbed her, disrespected her, showed her callous discourtesy, scant regard. You wouldn't even RSVP. She's watching the little tick and the little blue on the WhatsApp to know that you all see the message and just ignore her. She's the PRO. She's the PRO of the Progressive Empowerment Party. But you don't care to show her the respect a normal human being is entitled to. But I know that you all are watching, and to the guy who called me, even though right now Sabga paying your salary, your personal integrity must matter. At some point, now or the end of the road, you gotta look back. You gotta look back at a life, and it must be a life well spent. And if you want to make something of yourself, don't let anybody treat you like a puppet on a string and send you down in the latrine for them. You could do better, and I tell you could do better. And I want to explain something to you. Why I was not interested in a comment when you called me is because I knew, in the interest of fairness, that y'all did not investigate anything. It was a straight up hatchet job. The shortest line from that interview to destroying Philip Edward Alexander. Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago jump out themselves and put out a release, and 10 hours later, of their 12 members, only 10 had shared it. That means even 2 of the MAT members couldn't be bothered with their own bullshit. The media in Trinidad and Tobago has a lot of questions to answer, and I stand on Josh Surtees, what he had to say about the behavior of the dysfunctional Newsday publication that he said was literally printing and sharing propaganda, political propaganda. Today, the Commissioner of Police had to blast Guardian Media and say y'all are publishing fake news without fact checking, without veracity, without verification. You are bringing people into odium and disrepute. Guardian Media, I ask you tonight, Norman Sabga, owner, what is your agenda? What is your agenda? To treat Berkey Burke as a guest and the chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Felicia Holder, and Michelle Davis, head of South Deputy Party Organizer, to treat them as hostile witnesses and guests that don't matter. Norman Sabga, what is your agenda? What is your agenda? Trinidad and Tobago needs to know. Because you see, the Constitutional Republic of Trinidad and Tobago guarantees us a lot of things. And while Matt wants to rend their garments and pull out their hair about the freedom of the press, it's not freedom of the press to abuse. It is not freedom of the press to scandalize. It is not freedom of the press to defame, to broadcast fake news. That's not what the Constitution intended. And I don't give a shit how much money Norman Sabga or the Sabga group has. At the end of the day, Mr. Norman Sabga, and I was at your father's funeral. Your life has to count for something too at some point, friend. Because the difference between me and everybody else you know is I do this shit at my expense for love of country. And I know how difficult it is for me to win an election in Trinidad and Tobago. I didn't set out knowing it was a quick journey from launching a party and finding myself in public office. So to those who deluding themselves that thinking them just here to thief, the chances of us getting office in this corrupt and broken racist society is very slim. We are climbing the cliff face of the mountain, and we know. And we're taking all the hits and all the slings and all the arrows along the way. Mr. Norman Sabga, what I am is a man of integrity. I will never have your family's money. I will never make that as my life choice. I will never be a hoarder and a stunter and a poser. I know $1 more than need is greed. I don't need to be you. I don't need to have people come and pretend that I am something more than I am. Because I want to tell you something. Like everybody in my family and yours, at some point it all ends. And all the pieces go back in the box. And you have to account, even in posterity, for what you did with your life. And I could tell you, without fear of contradiction, I am very proud of what I have accomplished to this point. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are where we are because there are too many greedy people. From the day Columbus touched down on the sand in this country, ours is a legacy of the strong taking advantage of the weak. Enter into that the Progressive Empowerment Party. I, Philip Edward Alexander, together with a strong team of civic-minded patriots growing by the hour, we dare to say no, sir. We want a better country. We want a country where the national anthem's words, hear every creed and race, find an equal place, mean the same thing in the jail, the courthouse, and the bank. This is no longer going to be a country where we accept those who amass to themselves value and power could use it against the people. We stand against that. We stand for all inclusion. Our symbol is an umbrella. That umbrella, if you look at the symbol of this party, this is the people of Trinidad and Tobago, all of us equal under one power. And we want that for all our people. We talk plans, programs, policies, and ideas. People ask us questions that they don't ask the Prime Minister. He ever tell us, one of them, how much people was in your party, and they ask, do you ask the PNM and the UNC, and him lied and said the PNM and UNC's work with their facts. And I was the first person to go and research and bring all the facts about every single political party's membership to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Because even members of the party, Faris and Rowley, tonight don't know how much members the PNM have. Kamla and Rudal don't know how much members the UNC have. But I found out, and I told the nation every single party's membership. And it doesn't matter. It is not reflective of the votes required to win an election. Membership in a party usually has advantages and privileges to the members. But that's all it's for. That's all it's for. What is important to the people of Trinidad and Tobago is that the government of the day is not the government of its membership, but the government of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And in that regard, we consider our members 1.4 million people, because that is who we represent. Even the ones who still at this point don't understand, they don't know that they don't know, and it is them we represent. All of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The Progressive Empowerment Party calls on you, wherever you find yourself tonight. Ban your jaw, sacrifice, save, cut back, hold the line. We have to go through the valley. We have to go through some dark times. We have to go through some suffering. We have to go through, tell them keep it. We have to go through, no, we're not interested. We have to go through, I avoid certain places. Out of convenience, I could stop and spend my money here, there, and everywhere. But I don't. Because I stand on that principle. You know what? You could never get anything from me again. If you are not a beneficiary to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago, then I have no interest in you whatsoever. And we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we need to find that, and we need to stand together. We need to go forward together as one people under one flag. We need the sun to rise on this country. We need to open the windows and pull back the drapes and let fresh air clear out the dank and fetid smell of 56 years of corruption, racism, and abuse. From Eric Williams to now, our country has failed. A banana republic. Up to tonight, Keith Rowley as Prime Minister, Kamala Persad as opposition leader who was Prime Minister for 5 years, Patrick Manning dead and gone, Basnio Pandey still walking all over town talking about constitutional reform. Ask the three of them, why not one of them have secured the borders of this nation and protected those 19 little 15 and 16-year-old girls. It would have protected them. It would have ended the drug trade. The 518 murders in 2018, it would have taken the guns out of the shooters' hands. It would have removed the drug turf war. It would end the bullshit about community leaders and gangs. We could stop it. We could end it. Why, Keith Rowley? Why? Why haven't you secured the nation's borders? Keith Rowley, you're spending $9 billion on national security. Why the Coast Guard can't get diesel and food for the men? Keith Rowley, why they had to invent macaroni pilau? Keith Rowley, you're spending $9,000 million this year on national security. Where is that money going? Keith Rowley, where is it going? Because if you can't run this country, you can't secure the people, you should have the decency, if such a thing exists in your mind, to fire your blasted self. But we are here, and we're coming to do it for you. We are coming to fire you. We are coming to fire you for your incompetence and your mismanagement. Then, if the Progressive Empowerment Party gets office, then forensic audit of everything from today to the night the Union Jack came down and raised the red, white, and black. Every single transaction. We want all our money back, and we want to jail those who had access to public office that used it for their criminal enrichment at the expense of the rest of the people of this country. All of that coming and more. Somebody told me on the phone today, she's daughter of a 1% serious. She said, Philip, I don't know, I don't know if you're making it this time, a senior in office, a senior, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing the people talking, you're waking them up, your party waking them up, and a senior in office, I don't know if you're going to make it this time. I want Trinidad to understand. Do it this time. We can't survive. We can't survive our next 5 years of PNM or UNC. We cannot survive. There will be nothing left. They will mortgage and pawn and indebt us to the world. By the time they're done, the Chinese will own your children's children. We need to stop it now. We need to present ourselves as a united force of people, one people under one flag. It is time to stand up. It is time to call the bullshit for what it is. Stop being distracted by foolishness. Stop allowing paid political noisemakers to distract you and fill your mind with nonsense. Look around you. Nothing in this country works. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, the Progressive Empowerment Party stands here with you, and as Derek just said, we're coming hard. This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, come and join the national conversation. If you're in Central or South, 137 Manahambre Road, and in quick time, the 23rd of March, we'll be having 3 meetings every Saturday. Trinidad and Tobago, it is time for us to stand together as one people under one flag and fix our country once and for all. We are standing here with you. Stand up. Until we talk again, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.